Hey everyone, ready to dive into some seriously cool tech today?
Always ready to explore.
We're going to be looking at some apps that can really make a difference in how you work, how you organize, just generally make things easier.
And more efficient.
Exactly. So we're taking a cue from, now Technology Systems. They're this Australian company. They help tradespeople get the most out of technology.
Yeah, they've put together a great article with a whole bunch of free apps specifically for tradies.
But, and this is important, even if you don't work in the trades, stick with us. These apps and the ideas behind them are useful for pretty much anyone.
Absolutely. We're talking about productivity, organization. Those are universal challenges.
Right. Who doesn't want to streamline things a bit?
Okay, so what's caught your eye from this article?
Well, first of all, I think it's interesting how now Technology Systems is really emphasizing that technology is so much more than just the tools you use on the job.
Right. It's about managing the entire business.
Exactly. From scheduling and invoices to really complex financial stuff.
And that's something we're seeing across the board in all kinds of industries. These digital tools are becoming essential.
I mean, the article even says that Aussie tradies are using tech to get a competitive edge.
Which makes sense, right? It can level the playing field, especially for smaller businesses or independent contractors.
Okay, so enough about the big picture. Let's get into the actual apps. Now, Technology Systems starts with Tradify.
Tradify. Okay, tell me about it.
Well, they call it a digital office for tradespeople.
Yeah.
It can handle everything. Scheduling jobs, sending invoices, tracking expenses.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and they even quote someone who said that Tradify makes paperwork as stress-free as a sunny Arvo.
Well, paperwork might never be truly stress-free, but you get the idea.
Right. It's about making those tedious tasks less of a headache.
So you can focus on the work you actually enjoy and be more successful.
Makes sense. Okay, next up is Hose.
I've heard of that one. Isn't it for home design?
Yeah, it's like this giant library of home photos, perfect for finding inspiration.
Ah, so if you're a builder, a designer, or just someone who loves looking at beautiful interiors.
Exactly. I've actually played around with them myself. It's pretty cool.
You know, I think the visual aspect of Huz is what makes it so powerful, especially in fields like construction or design.
Yeah, being able to show a client a visual instead of just trying to describe it, that can be huge.
Absolutely. It can really enhance communication.
And hopefully lead to happier clients.
Okay, so we've got an app for managing the business. We've got one for design inspiration. What else is on the list?
Well, next up is all about keeping projects on track within budget. Now, Technology Systems recommends BuildSoft.
BuildSoft. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that one.
So BuildSoft is all about accuracy and compliance. It helps tradies create super detailed estimates.
Oh, okay. So managing costs.
Yeah, and it makes sure they're following all the Australian building standards.
Which is crucial, obviously. You don't want any legal issues down the road.
And I think that level of detail would also build trust with clients.
Absolutely. Transparency is key in any business.
Okay, now let's talk about collaboration. They recommend Dropbox for this.
Dropbox, classic. I mean, who doesn't use Dropbox these days?
Right, it's like a staple. But the article really highlights how useful it is for sharing plans, documents, photos.
Oh, yeah, with your team, with your clients. Keeps everyone on the same page, literally.
Literally.
Hmm.
Okay, last one for this part.
Hit me with it.
This one is all about finances. They recommend MyOB. It's free software, specifically for managing the financial side of Australian businesses.
This is huge. I mean, a lot of tradespeople are amazing at what they do, but maybe the financial side isn't their strong suit.
Right. And MyOB can help with that, like tracking income and expenses, understanding tax obligations.
Setting yourself up for success, not just getting by.
Exactly. It's like having a virtual accountant in your pocket. Okay, so moving on, we've got the classic can't live without it Google Maps.
Yeah, Google Maps seems obvious, but for tradies, it's like their lifeline.
Especially if they're working on different job sites all the time.
Exactly. Finding your way around, locating suppliers.
And checking traffic. Don't want to waste time stuck in a jam.
They even call it your route to success in the article, which I thought was pretty clever.
Right. It's about using those everyday tools to their full potential.
Okay, what's next on the list?
This one I hadn't heard of before. It's called Cam Scanner.
Cam Scanner. Okay, I'm intrigued.
So remember how we were talking about streamlining paperwork?
Yeah.
Well, this app basically turns your phone into a scanner.
Oh, wow, that's handy.
Right, so invoices, receipts, contracts, anything you'd normally use a big, bulky scanner for.
You can just do it right from your phone.
Exactly.
That's where mobile tech really shines. It's about accessibility.
Right, like imagine you're a tradie, you just finished a job, you need to send an invoice right away.
Boom, done. No need to go back to the office or anything.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical here. I mean, most phones have decent cameras these days. Why not just take a picture?
That's a fair point, but Cam Scanner goes beyond just a basic photo.
Oh, how so?
Well, it uses some fancy algorithms to enhance the image, make it super clear, crop it properly,
Okay.
and it creates a professional-looking PDF, which is perfect for digital storage.
So it's more than just a snapshot.
Exactly. Plus, it has extra features like cloud storage, even OCR, so you can convert scanned text into editable text.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm going to check that one out.
It's a good one.
All right, last app on their list is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. I mean, everyone uses that, don't they?
Yeah, but the article highlights how useful it is for tradies and not just for texting.
Right. You can share documents, images, even voice notes.
All within a secure platform.
And I think that versatility is really key these days.
Yeah, we're all juggling so many things, communicating across different platforms.
It's helpful to have one central hub for everything.
So we've gone through this whole list of apps,
Mm-hmm.
and they're obviously super useful for tradespeople.
But I think there's a bigger picture here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what does this tell us about how technology is changing the way we work in general?
Well, to me, it's fascinating how these apps, which seem pretty specific to the trades, actually touch on things that we all struggle with.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Productivity, organization, communication.
It's like they've taken these universal challenges and found digital solutions for them.
Exactly. And the article really emphasizes that it's not enough to just have the tools.
Right, you have to actually use them.
Make them part of your daily routine.
Work smarter, not harder.
Oh, yeah.
That's philosophy.
So out of all these apps, which one stands out to you the most?
Tough question. I mean, they all have their strengths, but I think the real game changer is the combination of something like Tradify and MyOB.
Interesting. Why those two?
Well, you know, for a lot of tradespeople, managing the business side of things, that can be a real burden.
Right.
But when you have tools that can take care of the invoicing, the expenses, the taxes.
It frees them up to focus on their craft.
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference, not just for the individual, but for the whole industry. Speaking of the future of the industry, towards the end of the article, Now Technology Systems talks about some pretty futuristic stuff.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Drones, augmented reality. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Well, it's a good reminder that no matter what you do, you have to be adaptable.
Yeah, technology changes so fast.
And the people who are willing to learn, to experiment, to embrace those changes, those are the ones who are going to thrive.
Think about it. Just a few years ago, the idea of a tradie using a drone to survey a roof.
It would have sounded crazy.
Exactly. So I guess the question is, how can we keep up with this rapid pace of change?
Well, I think it starts with a mindset, you know? Be curious, be open to new ideas.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Exactly.
It's like we're all on this constant learning curve now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing is, you don't have to do it alone.
True. There are tons of resources out there.
Online communities, tutorials.
Just talk to people who are into tech.
Yeah, share ideas.
Okay, so to wrap things up, let's give our listeners a challenge.
All right, challenge accepted. What's the mission?
What's one thing they can do to start applying these ideas, even if they're, not a tradie?
Okay. I would say, think about something you struggle with.
Like what? Give us an example.
Staying organized, managing your time, maybe communicating effectively with clients or colleagues.
Okay.
And then see if there's an app or some kind of digital tool that can help.
So become a tech detective.
Exactly. You might be surprised what you find.
It's funny. We often think of technology as this big, overwhelming thing.
Yeah, it can feel that way.
But when you break it down to these individual apps,
To these specific tools.
it becomes a lot more manageable.
And empowering, too.
Right. Like, it's not about becoming some tech genius
It's about finding the right solutions for you.
and using them to make your life better.
Simpler, more efficient.
Exactly. And sometimes it's about being open to the unexpected.
Like, who knew a scanner app could be so life-changing?
Right. It's those little discoveries that make this whole tech journey so interesting.
It's all about exploring.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap things up. Thanks so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been really insightful exploring this world of tech and how it's impacting the trades.
And beyond, really.
And to our listeners, we hope you've learned a thing or two. that you're inspired to try out some new apps.
To find those digital solutions that can help you.
Yeah, embrace technology, use it to make your work, your life, just a little bit easier.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep diving deep.